When I started my doctoral training in health psychology, I didn't want or plan to do psychotherapy. Hi, my name is Meghan Beier. I'm a health psychologist that specializes in working with people living with multiple sclerosis at the Rowan Center for Behavioral Medicine. In my doctoral training, I actually planned on primarily focusing on neuropsychology. I didn't actually think that I was going to become a therapist that worked with people from an emotional perspective. But that shifted pretty quickly over time as I started working with people, providing them with their test results and wanting to work with them to figure out how to problem solve not only those challenges that they were experiencing cognitively, but also the challenges that they were experiencing from an emotional perspective. When I was a kid in middle school, there was a school assignment where we had to pick a household object and we had to reimagine it. We had to describe how we might use it in a way that was outside of its intended use. And this was something that was not only fun for me, but it was something that I had grown up with. I had seen my dad throughout my life do this all the time. And I'll share one example that's still a running joke in our family, which is that, my dad was looking for a beer koozie one time and he couldn't find one, but he did have an old wetsuit from when he was a kid that was sitting in my grandmother's closet. So he took a pair of scissors to it and he used that plus some glue and he made himself a beer koozie. And my cousin started laughing and said, "Why not make something that's homemade but looks homemade too?" And the truth of the matter was it did not look pretty, but it actually was effective. And I kind of think this is how I approach therapy, is that, often we have to look around in our lives and we have to figure out, is there a creative, maybe messy and not so pretty strategy or solution to some of the challenges that people are facing, but maybe one that is effective for getting the end result that somebody is looking for. So we know that living with a chronic illness, living with multiple sclerosis is messy and it can be limiting and it can be extremely frustrating, and there's lots of challenges. And if we work together, there are often opportunities or solutions that we might not have thought of before. So I like to use curiosity, creativity, and often patched together ideas to work with limitations. This is not the only approach, but this is one of many ways that we at the Rowan Center can support you if you're living with something like multiple sclerosis or another chronic illness.